Okay, so I've decided here to upgrade to the brand new iPad Air here that has just been released from Apple, and it looks like a big iPad Mini. With what they've gone for with the design, everything is pretty similar, but just enlarged more, and it feels great, and it's great to hold as well. So if we just see here on the comparison, just looking at, let's get the Mini in here. So we can see here, the size there of what the Mini is, and then the extra bit here for the iPad. And obviously it is significantly smaller as well than the previous generation iPad. So it's a lot lighter, so this is why I've gone for it. Usually I like the mini screen, I like the smaller screen, but with compared to the previous iPad, but because Apple here reduced the bezels on the sides here on the iPad Air, it's much better to hold. It feels better in one hand, and all round it's a brilliant performer. Just pop onto Safari here and just have a look at some of the specs here. So first one here is weight, dramatically reduced from the previous generation, and then we've got here less than 0.5 kilogram, 28% lighter, 20% thinner. It is really thin compared to the previous generation, so that's fantastic. Of course, we've got the Retina display again here, which is 2048 by 1536 resolution, which is 3.1 million pixels packed into the screen. And then we've got the A7 chip, and then we've got the M7 coprocessor, which is found in the iPhone 5S. 10-hour battery life. They've upgraded the wireless in this, and it is, to be honest, coming from looking at the wireless on the iPad Mini, the range is not as good as what it could be. So this is much better. I've noticed that already. And then you also get, with any new device here, you get the iPhoto, iMovie, GarageBand Pages, Numbers, Keynote, etc. Free, and then obviously the camera. Not much of an upgrade onto the back camera there, but we've got a FaceTime HD camera, and of course it's running iOS 7. Okay, so let's see how the iPad Air performs with the Geekbench test. I'll just load it up here on the three devices. So we've got the iPad Air here, iPad Mini, and the iPhone 5S. So I'll just start running these now. There's no other apps running or anything in the background, it's purely just the Geekbench that's running. Odds are that the iPad Air will come out on tops, and then the iPhone 5S, and then the iPad Mini here. This is the first iPad Mini. It's obviously not the iPad Mini with Retina display, which is due out soon. So the Air's finished and the 5S is finished. We'll just have a look at them and just move this one to the side while that one completes. Obviously the processor's a lot slower in this iPad Mini. So we can see here we've got single core 1478, single core 1413, multi-core 2684, multi-core 2563 there on the iPhone. So it's to be expected really. The iPhone 5S is not too far behind, but the iPad Air here passes with flying colours. And then we just have a quick look here. Obviously same operating system there. Processor is 1.39 on here, 1.30 on the 5S, and it's a 1000 megabytes of memory on the 5S, 967 megabytes on the iPad Air, and the iPad Mini is still running. So it's a little bit slower than the other two here. But just interesting to see what it comes up with. Okay, so here we go. This is finished here. So the iPad Mini here is 263 single and 498 multi, worlds away from these other two devices here. You know, it's worth noting these two devices are, you know, at the minute the top of the range for Apple. This is you know, a year or so old now, the iPad Mini, and they're going to be replacing this with the iPad Mini with Retina, which will also include the A7 chip as well. So I'm sure it'll make it a bit faster. So you're looking at memory running at 502 megabytes there, and these, you know, you're looking at 1000 megabytes on these two, and the you know, processors. Obviously the Apple A5. So that's, you know, that's the scores there on these three devices. Okay, so one thing I don't like here, not to do with the iPad, but it's to do with iOS 7 itself, is this motion feature and the parallax, where the background moves here with the screen and the icons look like floating. So everything I do with any new iOS device is go straight into settings, general, and accessibility, over to reduce motion, and then we click on reduce motion to reduce the motion of the user interface, including the parallax effect and icons and alerts. So there we are. So let's have a look at this. So bam, and much smoother. You're in quicker to do what you want to do. That is a must for me. I don't know what you guys think about it. Do you use the parallax effect? Do you like it? But I just absolutely hate it. That's one of the worst features of iOS 7 that Apple brought in. But obviously you can turn it off, and that's great. Obviously it helps with battery life as well. So one thing here I want to show here is how sluggish Google Chrome is, because this is very fast touch interface here on here. And then, so if we look at Safari here on the Apple website, at the top of the screen here, so we're just scrolling down here, and it's quite smooth. There's a few bits of white screen going off if you get a bit faster, but it's quite responsive, the Apple website, and it's you know, it's smooth. And that's on Safari. Going to Google Chrome, on the same page, same website here, so we're starting at the top, and I can't even move it already. It's still a bit, it's very sluggish here. I'm not sure why it's like this, but it's very laggy. And if I start scrolling, bam, black screen gone. So I've never noticed that before on Google Chrome. Maybe it has happened before, but I don't know if anyone's had any problems with that. But it's it's awful. I think Safari runs smoother anyway on these devices compared to Google Chrome. So, you know, I very rarely use Google Chrome anyway. So the question is, should you be upgrading to the iPad Air? And I think if you're coming from the previous generation iPad, you know, if you've got the money, then probably yes. But if you haven't, then, you know, it's not a lot faster than the previous iPad. I mean, the big difference here is the weight. You know, it's got the same Retina display. Okay, it's got a better processor, but it's not going to be much. You're not going to notice it massively. So if you've got the previous generation iPad, then you should be pretty safe with that for a while. If you're going to be upgrading from, say, the iPad Mini, and looking to upgrade to an iPad, then the iPad Air would be a good choice. Obviously you've got your bigger screen. You're not able though to hold it really in one hand if you're coming from an iPad mini, but you know, that doesn't bother me really. I mean, this size tablet here is supposed to be used with two hands anyway. So it's a good upgrade. It's a big upgrade from the standard iPad mini to the iPad Air. Although we've got the iPad mini with Retina display coming out late November. So if you're sticking with this, you love the size of the screen here with the iPad mini, the size of the tablet, then I'd definitely upgrade to the iPad mini with Retina display when that comes out, because this is very very slow to use. If you're using a current iPhone 5S, you know, and you go using this, it's very slow. Everything's very slow to load, etc. You know, the process is very slow. So you really need to be getting rid of this and upgrading to either the iPad Air or the iPad mini with Retina display. Personally, I go for the iPad Air, but everyone's got their own personal preference. So that's about it for now. If you want to tell me in the comments whether you've upgraded for an iPad Air or any other device, or if you're waiting to upgrade to the iPad mini with Retina display in late November, let me know, and how you're getting on with your other iOS devices. That would be great, and I'll see you in another video. Cheers, thank you.